What's up, guys? This past weekend ranked, I went 15 out of 18 with Control Light, came in 15th place in the weekend ranked. I wanted to try out my Thaeriel the Fallen because I had gotten lucky and unpacked a Meteorite copy. However, O'Shiny over at Aqua.xyz had unpacked a gold copy and graciously let me borrow it to show it off to you guys. So here's a fun game that I played with multiple gold Thaeriels. But before we dive into it, I also want to let you know that I know that this deck is expensive, and I also like to make budget decks for you guys. So let me know in the comments what budget decks you want to see for next week, and I will make a budget deck for you guys. And then also at the end of this video, there's a really cool spot to lethal in one of my weekend ranked games, so I'm going to include that as well, so make sure you stick around for that. Now let's jump into the first time I get to play a gold Thaeriel. Alright, so we're starting from the middle of this game because Control Light games are like 40 minutes long. Here I clear the board, and this is where it gets interesting. Earlier in the game, my opponent had played Ludia's Deckcode and got something from my deck. He throws the sheep emoji out. And he got to play my gold Thaeriel before I got to play my gold Thaeriel. Alright, so I can see my opponent has 9 cards in their hand, and the wind-up roller in the Sanctum is a play that you always have to look out for. There it is. We got his Cutthroat by milling it. Such a heads-up play. You always need to be aware of it. If you're playing against control decks, even if you're an aggro deck, you got to be paying attention. Wind-up roller in the Sanctum. Always watch your opponent's hand. If they have 8 or 9 cards, buy that wind-up roller. You also made him mill a hunting trap. That's huge. There's one of his cultists. You get 3, and they have crazy options. A 3-mana 5/5 is pretty good. You can also give them God Blitz and stuff like that. So you gotta always be careful of these cultists. We drop the demo. We can't let that cultist blitz my face. Even if he gives it God Blitz, it's still asleep. And I have Lysander's Mercy, but I don't necessarily want to send a Thaeriel back into his deck, nor do I want to send that Witherfingers. We can get back a bunch of order stuff. Shut him down again. And we can obliterate that Thaeriel, so when we send it back with Lysander's Mercy, he doesn't get it. There's an option for a cultist where you get +1 and overkill. Still got one more cultist. Pretty big mistake to leave that Demogorgon alive. We Lysander's Mercy. You'd be able to play it again, but I think I'm just going to trade it off. And I still don't want to send that Witherfingers back. We just slam the other demo. I hope that we could take out that Witherfingers before we use Lysander's Mercy. A weird addition to his deck. Get some war creatures. But this is pretty nice for me. He's going to leave my demo pretty healthy. We go ahead and finally use that Lysander's Mercy. We get ourselves Demogorgon back. Can't complain about that. Here I'm trying to get set up for Thaeriel. Thaeriel is actually so good that he's difficult to play because he gives you 3 cards in hand, so I needed to clear out some room. And now we can finally play Thaeriel the Fallen in gold. There's that God Blitz. This God Blitz is huge. If you can find the ones... This one gives order so we can get rid of frontliners. You can find the ones that get +3/+3. You're talking about 6 God Blitz just from one creature alone. Basically, if you can get your opponent down to about 15 health, you can just win. The Thaeriel's a crazy finisher. He works really well in war instead of playing strength in numbers. You can play Thaeriel the Fallen. And despite the fact that my opponent has 17 health, this game is now over. We didn't even need to order like a guild enforcer or anything. There's Thaeriel and all of his minions, all going face on one turn. And although it's not exact lethal, we do get to buy the Rune of Fire. And next turn, even if he wipes my board, that's gonna do it. There it is. The first time I got to play a gold Thaeriel. Alright, here's a spot the lethal puzzle from one of my weekend ranked games. You can see there was no cards in my deck, so pretty much anything in my deck is in my void. So try and figure out how you can get lethal here. Pause the video if you need an extra few seconds to figure it out. Literally no cards left in the deck. Need to win this turn or we're just gonna die to fatigue over time because we have no cards left. Did you find it? There it is, Yukos in Eclipse. This kills 2 creatures, which is exactly what we needed. We needed 2 creatures to die and to go face with that Demogorgon in order to get exactly the right amount of favor to buy that Rune of Fire in the Sanctum and get exact lethal with 1 single card left in hand. GG's. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Let me know in the comments what budget decks you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one.